Jada Pinkett Smith could have something to do with Steph and Curry's parents' divorce. Reports are coming out that Pinkett was the one who helped Ayesha Curry realize that not only did she need a divorce, but she'd be wise to have that affair with the former New England Patriot tight end Steven Johnson. The twist in the tale comes as Del Curry and Steven Johnson were actually college friends. Who would have known that Del's former friend would be the first in line to romance his wife? Here's the juicy details. Jada Pinkett Smith had an interview with Stephen Curry's mother, Ayesha Curry, in 2019, where she reflected on her marriage with Del Curry. In one of the episodes of Red Table Talk, Jada Pinkett Smith, Willow Smith, and Gammy headed to North Carolina to the private home of NBA royalty to meet the queens of the Curry family. People in attendance were basketball superstar Steph Curry's wife, Ayesha Curry, along with Curry's mother, Sonia, his sister, Seidel Curry Lee, and future sister-in-law, Callie Rivers, the lover of Steph's brother, Seth, and sister to NBA star Austin Rivers. They all got real chummy and cozy, opening up about everything from anxiety issues to flirtatious female fans. It was described as a real talk summit with real NBA wives. Then the big cat came out of the bag. Steph's mother, Sonia, revealed how life changed when she and Del married at a young age. She was heard saying, "Each stage, different things fuel the marriage. There's different types of commitments at different levels. First commitment was to the person because you're in love. The second one, you're committed to the family because you got to build this, and to some degree, you're committed to kids. When you're going through bumpy times, you think a lot about kids. And the third part is, whoa, nobody's here. It's just us." He looks at me and goes, "You're not that 18-year-old that got married to me." And I look at him and go, "Okay." And Jada's reaction to Sonia talking about her marriage and how life changed after getting hitched to Del caught the attention of millions of viewers. It's a strange affair, but it happens more often enough to be a regular thing. The Curry parents had always been in attendance to watch both Steph and Seth's games. They'd become part of the known faces in the stadiums and part of the NBA. So it felt like a downer when the news was announced that Sonia and Del Curry had separated in 2021. The news seemed to come out of nowhere. Sonia filed for divorce, making their split official on June 14th of this year. However, reports suggest that the two had been separated since March of 2020, and the fact that Sonia is now with Del's old friend, the entire ordeal seems really peculiar. Del Curry and Steven Johnson weren't best friends when they both went to school at Virginia Tech, but they were close friends. Their history goes back almost 40 years ago when Del played basketball at Virginia Tech from 1982 to 1986. And Johnson gained popularity playing football there from 1984 to 1987. By 1988, Del was married to Sonia, a member of the Charlotte Hornets and hangout buddies with Johnson. Johnson was drafted by the New England Patriots in the 6th round, and for decades, their friendship remained solid. As Seth Curry played for Duke, Del and Johnson would frequent Duke games together. It seemed like one of their best activities. Then the story goes, Sonia started confiding in Johnson about the problems with Del. And since a man and a woman can't normally keep things platonic, or a man and a woman can't just be friends forever, romance quickly entered the equation like the pull of gravity on our moon. Rumors suggested that Del Curry was infuriated. TMZ Sports was able to get inside information via court documents that Del said that his estranged wife Sonia cheated on him with a former New England Patriots tight end, and then lied to him about it. The court docs obtained also show that Del believes Sonia began her extramarital affair with Mr. Johnson during the marriage and before the date of separation, and she lied to Del each time she cheated on him. The documents also show that Del says Sonia is actually living with Johnson in Tennessee and claims she could not be entitled to alimony because of it. As a matter of fact, Del is certain that the affair was going on for a long time, way before they separated. Sonia claims that it only happened after they separated. But on the other side of the fence, Sonia is accusing Del of committing adultery. And after the latest pictures from the finals, there surely may have been something shady going on along the sidelines. Sonia swears that Del was unfaithful their entire marriage, and the whole family knows about it. So she doesn't understand why he is so salty about her stepping out on him. After all, it was Sonia who wanted to separate after she claimed that Del had been committing acts of infidelity for some time. And that brings us to today, where we have Del firing back with his own claim that Sonia had cheated on him with former Patriots tight end Steven Johnson. Speaking of Johnson, Sonya claims she isn't living with the former football player, even though she's been spotted in Tennessee with him since she left the house that she and Dell used to share. Divorce can be tough on the kids. We know the demerits of divorce and the negative impacts it can have on the kids, even adult kids. But in this case, we have a doozy. In another peculiar twist to this sports soap opera, Steven Johnson used to be married to Dell Curry's new girlfriend, Nikki Smith, making it seem like the Currys and Johnsons decided to swap spouses. Perhaps they really are very good friends. As for Stephen Curry, it's been a tough time for him. Steph Curry admitted that he's trying to keep connections alive with both his parents. He was quoted saying, "I had to make sure I was in that moment with both of them separately, and this wasn't just this whole kind of thing. That is how I chose to approach that, because it is challenging." And since he's a superstar of the NBA, and his parents are NBA stadium icons, Steph will have to endure with a lot more attention on his parents' odd romantic relationships. Now, with Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk show on Facebook Watch, which is a heartfelt show discussing real-life personal issues of the people invited to the program, this issue will be followed and exposed to the fullest. We just found out that Stephen Curry's parents are now dating a couple that was also previously married, but the backstory of it has yet to be revealed. Of course, Stephen Curry doesn't want this going public, but at this point, it all seems inevitable. Let's get more details on Jada Pinkett's strange involvement in this entanglement. The people want to know what exactly went down and how exactly Jada Pinkett Smith is oddly tangled in all of this. Well, actually, she's developed a close relationship with all the Curry ladies since she invited them to her show. And on that show, it was the first time Sonya Curry started talking about her marital problems with Dell Curry in public. The divorce papers were filed this year, but these issues have been taking place for years, with both of them being unfaithful to each other. The mainstream narrative suggests that Sonya Curry was the one who cheated first. But no one will deny the difficulties NBA players have being faithful in the midst of hundreds of trips around the nation and globe, and thousands of gorgeous fans itching to get caressed from their favorite stars. It's a working hazard that everyone's aware of. These days, an NBA player who remains faithful to his wife is extremely rare, and it has been for decades. It's all par for the course, or in this case, par for the court. But is Jada Pinkett Smith responsible for Curry's parents' divorce? The verdict says no. Jada Pinkett Smith only offered a platform for all the Curry ladies to feel safe inside a space where they could talk about personal sentiments. As a matter of fact, since the show normally provides a healing zone for whoever goes on it, it's very much like therapy. In the case of Sonya Curry, the show seemed to have almost been therapeutic. Her words were those of a woman who couldn't wait to start thinking about her own happiness for the first time in decades. If her claims are true indeed, good on her for finally taking that step and filing for that divorce. What are your thoughts? Comment down below.